another day. Sup? Suppity sup. As always, hope your day's going well. Mine's going alright. No complaints. Garbage day. So I'm in my element. When trash meets trash, true love is born. It's always a little bit of a drag to ride on garbage day, but it's better to get some exercise than no exercise. I waited a little bit past 11 o'clock to come out tonight, which is even later than yesterday. I feel like just some of the most enjoyable riding tends to come around at this time because like basically the limited road space for bicycles plus all the delivery e-bikes that are on the that are in the bike lane riding slow. When you hit around like 9:30, 10 o'clock, that's when they like get substantially less. And I don't know if it's just the season, but like I feel this year I see way more delivery drivers than last year. On e-bikes, and just not a fan in particular of how they ride. They either like inconvenience me or are like rude. It's usually one or the other. It's mostly the slow riding with the head down that gets me. On the topic of e-bikes, a commenter the other day asked me, well, yeah, he asked me what e-bike I had, and I don't know if he thought that this bike I'm riding right here was an e-bike, because I was passing all the delivery driver e-bikes in the video as I usually do. I've only seen a few delivery men that ride above 28 kilometers an hour. And I like those ones. Those ones are not in my way in the least bit. And I wish more delivery drivers' bikes could go a little faster. At the same time, I know that's a double-edged sword because you have all these like really terrible bike handlers that are distracted riding on their cell phones, and to give them even more power is likely a mistake. It would just be like a convenience, kind of. Yeah, so that's probably like the wrong thing for me to want. I don't like making demands of other people though, like, oh, I wish these e-bikers would just be more attentive. Then I'm just complaining, you know. I like to focus on usually things that I can change myself. That'll get me a better outcome, rather than expect other people to change for me. Yeah, but a guy that was asking me about e-bikes said he lived in a hilly area in, was it Nova Scotia? My memory's so bad for that. Yeah, but for you, I would recommend a mid-drive bike. A mid-drive electric that you do yourself, because a lot of the hub drives they sell are just not of the best quality. And you're gonna get something a lot nicer if you just do the e-bike thing yourself. You'll get something a lot nicer for the same price or cheaper. For like, I don't like hub drives personally, but I don't have anything personally against hub drive e-bikes. They're just not good for hilly areas. They have other problems like the weight of the motor. That's all weight that's coming down and banging down on your spokes when you hit bumps. So it's really easy to end up with broken spokes and an untrue wheel, and then your motor is attached to an untrue wheel, you know, and then it hits your brakes because it's not true, and just you get a lot of use problems. You can with hubs. if you're not riding on nice paved roads. And the roads I'm riding, they're paved, but I would not call them nice. Nasty, ugly potholes all over them. It's October 5th today. A lot of, or is it 4th? Fuck, I can't, it's awful. A lot of cool new Japanese anime released today. I think more than likely the best show of the season probably released today. It's called Dan Dan. Dan Dan. I don't know how they got away with PG-13 on that show. Because I felt that show was pushing some 18 plus buttons for me. I also watched the first episode of Trillion Game. It's not like the best, but it looks interesting and I'm gonna watch it more than likely. There's a couple okay isekais out so far. It's like nothing that breaks the mold quite yet. But they're good enough to watch and veg out to pass some time, I think anyway. Those isekai released like 2 or 3 days ago. A whole bunch of new and good stuff coming out. Solo leveling movie is gonna drop soon. A lot of people will be wanting that. I think, can't remember if it's Bleach the series, 1,000 Year Blood War, the second part. It's either the second part of the actual Bleach series or a movie. I just can't remember which one. But a lot of people will be looking to eat that up. I'm one of them. Bleach has some very basic storytelling in some ways, and some very good storytelling in other ways, you know. Just nice, and like, basically my gripe with Bleach is too much, and it's my friend's gripe and a lot of people's gripe, is too much of the story revolves around Ichigo. They don't, like, a lot of the other side characters have very one-dimensional personalities, and even Ichigo himself is very one-dimensional. It's like, you know what you're here for when you're watching Bleach. Chad is gonna get his ass kicked. Uryu is gonna be useful for one fight. Orihime is gonna say Kurosaki. Rukia exists for people to be like, oh my god, I can't believe Ichi x Rukia didn't make it. Why did she choose her childhood friend Renji? And Ichigo is just going to show up and run the show. We will not enter the bike lane because we're turning, and it's like nearly impossible to do this turn when you're in the bike lane. Had my headphones in, it was hard to tell if that's a plane or that guy's e-bike. I know now it was probably an airplane. Just me and my Jetson Bolt in all black with no light on. If you are just someone that's getting into e-biking, and you're okay with a hub drive and you live in a mostly flat city, I would actually recommend the Jetson Bolt. Even though it's like not the greatest bike, for an entry-level bike, it pretty much has like a lot of what you would like and want. Would I buy and ride one for myself? Probably not, to be honest. Stop your car, asshole. You can actually modify your Jetson Bolt though. And have this dinky little bike that flies like a rocket, but it'll completely eat the battery when you ride it if you're gonna mod it, but it's still fun. You know, like you could still have a lot of fun on a modded Bolt. Like, for women to get around and do small errands, I feel like that could be potentially like a life-changing bike for some people. And it comes in at a good price point. For most other people, you like live in a hilly or mountaineering terrain and you want an electric bike, genuinely do yourself a favor. Come on, man. Come on, bro. What the fuck is your problem? This SUV, like, move over to the max, slow down to let him pass. Slows down even more so he can get in my way. Now I got this guy riding my ass too close. Yeah, I would say genuinely do yourself a favor, live in a hilly area, get yourself a mid-drive e-bike, nice battery, 52 volt, 20 amp hour, or 72 volt, 20 amp hour, you know, gear it from anywhere to 42 tooth to 46 tooth on the front. I personally would go with 46 teeth because you can still get some really nice top speed in your highest gear out of a 46 tooth chainring. You going? You doing it? It's the same guy. Probably not gonna get the light because of him. Fucking Jesus, stuff like that pisses me off. When someone costs me twice in a row. I can't stand what a driver does with this driver behind me keeps doing to me. It's two of them now doing it. Like, the ride would be perfect if this one person wasn't here. Hopefully I can lose him in this traffic. Probably not. It's like you want to ride as fast as a bike and then ride beside me. Come on, man. Yeah, 42 tooth chain ring and a 46 tooth chain ring, you'd be surprised how much faster those 4 extra teeth will make you go, you know? And then you can choose the best gear for your cassette. on my electric bike, I made a mistake when I was building my first one, and when I finally upgraded the chain ring, they didn't have a 48 tooth option like the stock chain ring with that comes with the motor is. So I think I got a 52 tooth, and in the highest gear it's just too big. Like, you'd have to be an Olympic track athlete to pedal it, and I don't even think an Olympic track athlete could get any efficiency out of it. It's just way too hard. So if that's one thing I could go back and do different, I would have got the 46 tooth option. But there are other advantages to having a really big front chain ring. And that's more speed in your middle gears too. Get up to acceleration quicker. Wow, it's so windy. I'm like really riding against the wind here. Whew. You can get up to acceleration really nice. In your mid gears, the big front chain ring. Sorry, repeating myself, tired. But yeah. And that can give a little more longevity to your cassette. On electric bikes, you don't typically want to just boot it right away either. You want to be in the right gear. It gives you the right amount of torque to get up to speed, rather than just booting it in a high gear, because that's how you tax your motor, you know? There's a lot more power coming from a motor than you can generate with your legs, usually off of the hop. So being in too high a gear and starting out on an e-bike is how you just burn out your motor and your bicycle components. Not the best. Yes, Daddy, blind me with your high beams. Well, my stamina feels like it's doing a little bit better today. But as a result of the traffic I faced, which wasn't a lot, but it's still enough, I won't be doing a better time than I did, not yesterday, but the day before when I rode this route. Which, that's okay, I don't care. All I care about is the effort, and that I'm getting my conditioning back. Hello, can I have some space? Thank you. Waiting for the day when someone with dyslexia is like, okay, I'm gonna go left, and then just goes right and pins me into another car. He was a fine man. He was a foolish man. Ah, Rusty, what a fool you were, trusting in other people's judgment behind the wheel. The end. And everyone lived happily ever after, except me. YouTube really gives you some weird recommendations sometimes. Today it recommended me a Japanese girl with like a smaller music channel. I wouldn't say it's that small. Not Hollywood famous, we'll say. I call her YouTube famous well and truly already. But she had a video that blew up because she spoke in English, saying she appreciated all her English fans, and she talked about like her condition and how she has like bipolar disorder, how she wants to die sometimes. Quite dark. But at the same time, like, it takes a lot of courage for someone to admit that. And also, you really admire them for like trying to, you know, still put themselves out as a positive force in the world, despite their feelings, you know? Really, all you can do is wish the best for these people. We're not so different, all of us. We all have problems, you know? Oh man, CJ, all you had to do was keep up with the train. Come on, man, don't do this to me. Fuck. I could have made it, but like, we're not doing that. You bitch, Rusty. Why didn't you risk it for the biscuit? You're such a zussy. You got me. Well, my viewers now know the truth about me. Wasn't willing to risk getting hit by a train, so you know, shouldn't watch me because I'm a coward. I know it hurts everyone. You had very high expectations and hopes of me, you know. You expected better of me, and I let you down. And for that, I'm truly sorry. Bit of a detour. Oh, I fell out of a gear, no wonder. That felt strange. When I was entering the rail path, initially, I jumped out of a gear. I've done that every day in a row. In that spot. Whew. Excuse me. Coming home tonight, wow. Even on the downhill, I'm quite resistant. Oh boy, oh boy. Train's still going. I made the right decision. Oh, it's funny, I say I made the right decision. The right decision would have been to go up St. Clair, up Kiel to St. Clair, not come here. Hopefully it ends in a moment. Enjoy the longer ride. Oh. Oh. Train spotting. The graffiti on all these cars is always something amazing to me. You know, like some are tags and just art, but I'm sure some of the tags they use are codes sometimes for like what cargo could be in what car. Not something I could say definitively though. Man, I'm stupid. Oh man. I wonder if I should just call the ride here. You know what, everyone? I'm gonna call it here. Because that way I might not have to go over 40 minutes and edit this. That's it. That's all. And remember, the same ride's never the same ride.